Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Michael Hartley with Action Coach. What needs to pivot in my business, kickstart your day, get you refocused, because business is changing daily right now.
Well, good day and welcome. I am Dr. Michael Hartley. I'm a non-medical type of doctor. I operate on business, and today we're operating on your business in the area of moonshot thinking. This is a principle that has been around for quite some time, and what I'll share with you is when you properly understand how moonshot thinking is the way that the most successful people in the world truly think, it starts to alter the way that you think. It starts to shift the purview, if you will, of your mindset. And with what's going on right now across our country, it's really, really important to understand that your mindset, the way that you process your thoughts, which then leads towards the actions you take, is extremely important. So much so that you need to understand how to work on your own mindset on a consistent basis. So how do we get there? Let's dive in. I'm going to start with a very quick video. And from there, then I'm going to walk you through the principles to focus on how to properly lead, because moonshot thinking is not for followers. If you're sitting here as a follower, moonshot thinking is not going to be for you. Moonshot thinking is for leaders, truly. And so when you have that mindset of going, I must properly lead, that's really to the core of what we are talking about today. Let's dive in.
What if someone came to you tomorrow and said, I'm going to make all your dreams come true, you just got to show them to me right now? You think it's just going to magically show up? Someone else is going to turn up and they're going to turn up on your door and say, hey, here's all your dreams, even though we don't know what they are? But think about your dreams and think about where you're going with it, because here's the thing, we got to go big in life. You get one shot at life, why do it small? Why not go big? Here's the greatest thing about having dreams. Dreams are a great way to weed out the morons in your life. The morons in your life. Because you start telling them about your dreams and goals, and when they start saying, that's not possible, you can't do that, that won't happen, what do you need to do? Piss off. Next. You know, you've got to have friends that are going for their goals, and that way they help you and push you and guide you along to it. Too often though, I see people that go to these seminars and say, just write your goals down and that's enough and you'll achieve it. No, hang on. If you write your goal down, that's the second step. Yes, have dreams, then have goals, but then once you got the goal, you got to go to work and learn the stuff. Because without the learning, you can't do the planning or the action, or you can, but it won't be any good. And that way, once you've done all of this learning, what can you do? Write a plan.
So as we have our mindset shifted just a little bit, as we understand that the way that we think as leaders may need to shift, let's dive into some of the core principles for you to focus on leaving this webinar today. So if you're not connected with me, get connected. We put out content all the time. First and foremost, to lead a community, you must actually lead. You must lead through the way you communicate, through the routine you have, through consistency, through your mindset. The only marketing that works is consistent marketing. The only mindset, tools, and resources that work are consistently implemented. You see, with your business, it starts with yourself, because you are here to lead your business. And if you aren't leading your business, then candidly, who is? As an owner, as a CEO, it's your responsibility to properly lead. And that starts with you. And it starts with the things that you do consistently. So what are those things that you are doing consistently or need to begin doing consistently to properly lead? When we start talking about exponential growth, moonshot thinking, you must be consistent with it, or the moonshot never takes place. When Kennedy said, we are going to put a man on the moon, they had absolutely no idea how to actually do it. They had no idea what was needed to accomplish that target, to accomplish that goal. And yet he said it, he put it out there. And if you want to go Google moonshot thinking, there's a lot of research that goes behind this. I'm just giving you the top principles that apply today. So properly lead through communication. How do you communicate externally and internally? How do you build your consistent routine? How do you become consistent with everything you do? How do you focus on your mindset every day? You see, the reason why people don't succeed often starts with the conversation they're having with themselves. The conversation with myself, about myself, when I'm by myself. What's your conversation look like? How does your mindset need to shift? You see, there's a lot of crap in the world. If we're gonna cut to it, there's a lot of junk out there. So how do you focus on being the proper leader? How do you focus on having the positive mindset regardless of the situation? Because when you lead through positivity, you're leading properly. Leading through negativity just stirs up more negativity. One bad leading, trying to combat another bad just leads to more negativity. You see, we must lead through the right mindset. We must lead properly. Good leadership, positive leadership. It's not about stirring more negativity around, because there's enough of that out there. The world, the media, the social media platforms, there's enough of the negative crap out there. We don't need to lead by that. The world naturally will do that. We must lead through positivity. We must lead through having the right mindset. We must lead the individuals, our circle of influence, those who look to us. We must lead through the right lens, through the proper lens. If you're seeing people lead through negativity, what does that encourage? More of that mindset. I saw this video of a sheriff who, in the midst of a protest where the rest of the country, and you've probably seen this too, where the rest of the country is focused on negativity and combating negativity with negativity, combating positivity with negativity, candidly, he put down all that and he said, what do you need from me? How can I properly lead? And he did. And guess what? There was no one hurt. There were voices heard. And you see, when you properly lead, you lead through positivity. You lead through having the right mindset to approach a situation and say, regardless of what anybody else is doing, I'm going to lead this way. And then you get people to share that with others. And you should have testimonials and reviews and all that on your website about how you lead. If you are leading others, they will talk about it. So make sure that when you lead, others share it. Why is that important? It's not about you. Let's start that right there. Let's start with the fact that it's not about you. It's not about me. It's about the fact that when we lead properly, we're going to attract others. My goal is to not lead followers. My goal is to lead leaders. And when I lead leaders, they talk about it. And then they bring in the other leaders that of the same mindset. Now I can lead more. And when I lead leaders properly, I'm internalizing this for a second, they can then go and pay it forward. They can then go lead their circles of influence, their teams, their industry, wherever they may be at. When I lead you properly, you are able to then go pay it forward in the same light. Leading is not about the person who's doing it. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about the influence and effect that we have. Everybody has influence. I wrote an article about this 2 years ago. I actually just reposted it because I feel like it's extremely important right now on influence. Everybody has influence. And if you are a business owner, if you are a CEO, you have more influence than most. Take it seriously. Use your influence the right way. Choose to. If you choose to not use your influence either way, you're actually still making a choice. Let's be honest. Choosing no option is still choosing. That's why everything in life comes back to the thoughts we have and the choices we make. Because even when you try not to make a choice, you're still making a choice. So use your influence positively in the right way. This is where we get to, now that we have that set, that foundational level set, now we can start looking at moonshot style thinking. I mentioned this a minute ago. It's where when Kennedy said we're going to put a man on the moon, they had no idea how to. You may need to set goals in your life, in your business, that you have absolutely no idea how to go get. That's why I kicked off with the video today that I did. Because when you have proper dreams, massive dreams, things that you have no idea how to accomplish, it weeds out the morons in your life. It weeds out those people who are going to say, oh, you can't do that. Why are you thinking that way? It's candidly this principle, which again, go research it. There's a lot of information out there. It's been around for a very long time. It's where the book 10X came out of. If you really look at the core principles, it's you know, he read, which I think it was Grant Cardone. I think he's the one that wrote it. He lives moonshot style thinking. The most successful people I know they live their life in moonshot style thinking. They approach a business who's doing maybe 500,000 and they go, why wouldn't you think about 100 million? Whatever you're doing right now, it's not about 10X. It's about 100X. It's about taking what you're doing right now and add 2 more zeros to it in the revenue, and then figuring out, what does my business need to go do to accomplish that? How many lives can I positively affect when I'm doing 100X what my business is doing right now? Lead properly. And candidly, you're not going to have a clue, most likely, how to actually go do it. And that's the beauty. Because then you start thinking about, okay, so now I have this out there. I'm going to set some milestones, some, major milestones that I need to go hit along the way. And then I have to go learn a whole bunch of stuff. And who do I need to learn it from? How do I pour into myself to learn these things so that way I can have proper moonshot style thinking? When we do this, we may have to go unlearn some stuff. Bad habits, bad mindsets, poor mindsets, thinking through things in negative ways, negative mindsets. You may need to unlearn junk that's up here, the head trash, as a good friend of mine puts it. And then you may need to go relearn some things. There's a reason why our vision is world abundance through business re-education. We are re-educating people all the time. You may need to relearn some stuff because, again, I'm not teaching, you are learning. I ask individuals at the end of a coaching session the scale of 1 to 10, and it's not about me. I think sometimes it probably comes across that way because I'm asking the question. It's not about me. Scale of 1 to 10, and how well did you learn, and how well are you taking action right now? How well are you taking ownership and accountability and responsibility for what you're doing? You may need to relearn some of those core principles, and then you start to see things transform. And then again, that probably starts with you. I know for me, it started with me. And for those that are around me, it started with them. Be to have. Who do I need to be to do the things I need to do to have the results I want to have? Moonshot style thinking says it starts with you. Moonshot style thinking says we must take ownership and accountability of every aspect. And then we must be responsible for either myself doing it or being responsible for others taking that ownership and being responsible for it, and then holding them accountable to it. Moonshot style thinking says, I am going to get out of the mindset of my problems today, because guess what? Incremental thinking, shifting things up by a percentage, your mind will stay in the, well, here are my current constraints. If I'm looking for 10% increase, my mind is going to stay focused on my problems today. If I say you have to go 10x your business, 100x your business, moonshot your business, it will force you to think differently because the current constraints don't matter, because the current solutions don't matter. You need elevated solutions to tackle that plan. And so it forces you to think completely different, in a different mindset. It forces you to put yourself around individuals who that's the way that they think. It gets you out of the sphere of influence where those that influence you are percentage thinkers. or even negative thinkers. I have had to remove a lot of individuals out of my life that only think negatively, in a negative manner, because they aren't adding towards my vision, towards where I'm going. Now, I may take the responsibility of still being around them to lead them, and then let them make the choice if they are willing to change or not. And for those that aren't, I'm going to go put my effort candidly towards those who are. And my hope is that I'm bringing everybody along, and candidly, certain people are going to be stuck. And when they're stuck, it may take something massive in their life to help them make a shift. If someone's unwilling to learn, it doesn't matter how much you try to educate somebody, how much you try to perturb them, perturbation, that pressure. They're unwilling in that moment. And so then it's just about consistently coming back until they're willing to open up. My goal for you, as you watch this, as you learn, as you take exponential mindsets to heart, is that you become consistent with it. Is that you focus on, what does my moonshot in my life actually look like? What does that exponential thinking mean to me, to my business? Moonshot style thinking says it takes new thought patterns to figure it out. And that's the best part of all of it. So as a leader, as a CEO, as a business owner, lead positively, lead correctly. Don't think about how do I add 10% to my business so I can be okay. Take this concept to heart and think about, how do I not just 10x, how do I 100x this thing? How do I create so much abundance that I get to positively affect all these other individual lives, because I need to bring them onto my team and give them an amazing lifestyle, because this is where my business is heading. That starts with leadership. That starts with you, your mindset. You see, proper leadership, and I personally equate this to proper ownership, makes it not about me. It makes it about the team that I employ, the people that I bring on to my bus and put in the right seat to move this thing the right direction. It's about them. It's not about me. My responsibility is the moonshot style thinking. My responsibility is the vision of where we're going and the dreams. And then it's about inspiring others to enroll into my business. I don't look at it as hiring people. I look at it as enrolling people. I want to enroll people into my business in specific seats on the bus, specific positions that they are going to thrive in to make this whole thing go the way that I have visioned it to be. Ideally, this is making you think a little bit differently. Ideally, you have not really truly thought about what moonshot style thinking means to you and to your business and to your life. Ideally, you take these principles and flip them on their head. Is it possible? Absolutely. It's your choice. No one will make it for you. It's your choice to determine if the possibility of having it happen is meaningful enough for you to actually put effort towards it. Or if you're going to have the self-limiting beliefs of saying, no, it's not really possible. I can't really go do that. What I'll coach you towards is that's because if that's your mindset, you're thinking through the lens of today. If you could see your business through the lens that I sit in, your purview on it would be way different. You see, consistency really matters. I think more than people understand, and your mindset matters. I think honestly, your mindset's more powerful than I think most people really understand. And the last point really today is the fact that taking your moonshot means thinking big. Too many people think small. So you got to think big. And then here's part B of this equation. because it's not just about thinking big, because not enough people think big. Ideally, after today, you're thinking a little bit differently. You're elevating your thinking. Part B is the actual problem. It's not enough people who think big actually stay consistent with the action it requires to accomplish that moonshot. Too many people scare away from the action that is needed to go accomplish it. And so for you today, it's not just about moonshot style thinking. It's about moonshot style action. Are you willing to put in the work to accomplish your moonshot? And as you go, make sure that you share and celebrate the wins. Make sure that you celebrate stories and the collectiveness of what you are building. When you do that, you will be bringing people along the journey with you that you may never have anticipated. So have moonshot style thinking in mind, and then have moonshot action to follow it. And as you go along, you will build leverage into the process. You will build in leverage into your mindset. You will build leverage into the entire business, the entire entity. Because without leverage, it's hard to scale. So moonshot style thinking is where it begins. Start being willing to put in the work to see it take place, share and celebrate those wins, and then we start to build in leverage into the process. My question to you is, after today, how will you lead differently? If you are a business owner, a CEO, if you are watching this and your desire is to become one of those things, your responsibility is to lead. So lead properly. Lead through positivity. Lead through elevated thinking. I'm Dr. Michael Hartley. I'm here to elevate your business and enhance your lifestyle. If you're not connected with me, get connected. Would love to have a chat. Please type in your top 1 or 2 learnings from today and make it a phenomenal week. Regardless of the junk out there, you choose your mindset. Ideally, you're choosing the right one, the positive one, because that is what leads to proper change. Bye for now.